Good morning, everybody. Auronnj here with another Honkai Star Rail video, and today we're going to once again talk about Jing Yuan's banner, but we're going to flip the script and talk about the 4-star characters on this banner, and if they are worth going for on their own, and if you decide to go for them, how much luck, how many pulls is it going to take you to get them, what Eidolon levels should you be going for if you're chasing them. We're going to look at all of that stuff. Now first, let's take a peek at what the 4-star characters on Jing Yuan's banner are. We've got Sushang, March 7th, and Tingyun. All three absolutely banger 4-stars, and it has been a reason that a lot of people have said they want to pull on this banner since pre-launch. Now, I'm going to focus in mainly on Sushang and Tingyun. Since you already get a copy of March 7th for free, I think you could just kind of count on collecting her Eidolon slowly over time, but those other two are great. Sushang is a physical damage carrying unit, which we don't have a lot of in this game, especially if you're missing out on Clara. And then Tingyun is a support. She's there to amplify your main carry's damage dealing ability. Is she as good as Bronya? No, but I don't have Bronya, and I'm doing just fine with my E0 Tingyun in my team. Now, let's also go to Seela's banner real quick and look at the rates for the boosted 4-stars on that banner. You had Natasha, Hook, and Pela as your boosted 4-stars for Seela's banner, and every time you hit a 4-star, you ended up with about a 22% chance, just over a 22% chance actually, of getting one of those boosted characters. That's pretty good, especially considering every 10 pulls you do on the banner guarantees you at least one 4-star character. Alright, you're going to have a lot of pulls where you hit multiple 4-stars. There was definitely pulls during Seela's banner where I hit 2 hooks, or a Hook, a Natasha, and a Pela at the same time. I was pulling these units like crazy. I took my Seela all the way to E6, and by the time I was like E3 or 4, all these people I think were done. Hook was done almost instantly. Like, I kept pulling Hook. Now, that does bring up a topic right here. There is a chance if you're pulling for Tingyun on Jing Yuan's banner, you could just hit March 7th like 3 times in a row and feel really bad about that. But you could also hit her on your first 10 pulls, so you just kind of have to think about that. Another piece of math to add to this equation is pity carries over. So if you don't necessarily care about pulling yourself a Tingyuan, but you care about a future unit, and you really want Sushang? Well, you could throw about 30 to 40 pulls on the banner going for Sushang, and if you catch her in those pulls, you got your girl, and you've built up your pity towards the next banner. Pities carry over, so as long as you don't luck sack out and hit Jing Yuan in your first like 30 to 40 pulls, you've just helped yourself on your quest to pull your next 5-star unit. That is something to consider, but that will be account by account. I know some people did this on Seela's banner, kind of prepping their pity for maybe Jing Yuan or a future character. Hey, if you've done that, you probably don't want to chase a 4-star on this one. So it'll account by account. You'll have to gauge if that's where you are or not, or if that's a risk you want to take. Now, the next thing I want to look at, since we've talked about your odds of pulling them, I want to look at the characters themselves and look at their Eidolon levels specifically, because this is going to tell you, like, if you pull one copy of someone, is that enough? Or should you go for another copy of these 4-stars, especially with their boosted rates being as good as they are? Let's start with Tingyun. Now, Tingyun is in my main 4-man squad of Japard, her, Seela, and Natasha, and she has been fantastic. I do not have Bronya on my account, and she has been the #1 support for my team, and she is just crushing it. So, Eidolon levels. I have her at Eidolon level 0, and I actually think Eidolon level 0 is just fine for her. I'm totally cool with riding it out and just collecting these over time. I'm going to pull a copy of Jing Yuan, so I will more than likely hit an Eidolon for her along the way, but I don't think any of these greatly change her role. Like Eidolon level 1, sure, after using her ultimate, or after using their ultimate, the ally with Benediction gains 20% speed for 1 turn. So Benediction is the buff that she puts on characters with her skill. They have it for 3 turns. This means that if they ult during that, they also get a 20% speed buff. I do think this is powerful, and I will definitely be excited for having it, but it doesn't like game-breakingly change the way she works. You don't need it, especially if you don't care about pulling Jing Yuan. I wouldn't suggest chasing any Eidolon levels for this character. Eidolon level 2, the ally with benediction also regenerates 5 energy after defeating an enemy, and you can see here she's really focused on speed and energy regeneration in these first two, getting your units not only more damage but more ult casts and more turns. Super good unit. Tingyun is one of the best 4-star units in this game easily, so there you go. Eidolon level 3 and 5 for every character is just more skill levels, which is always a good thing. Like, you're never going to hate that, but again, definitely doesn't change them. Eidolon level 4 for her, the damage multiplier provided by benediction increases by 20%. Okay, that's good. So more damage to the unit that she's buffing. And then her Eidolon level 6 ultimate regenerates 10 more energy for the target ally. Tingyun's ultimate, when you cast it on your ally, it gives them energy regeneration and a damage boost. Now it will give 10 more energy regeneration. For example, for my girl right now, when she casts her ultimate on an ally, they get 50 energy and a 29% damage boost. So yes, I would love to get duplicates where I could boost the skill levels here, where make this damage boost number go up. I'd love to have 60 energy instead of 50. It still does not change the way she works, and she's plenty good for me at E0. If this is the girl you're chasing and you catch one copy of her, I think you could feel good about stopping and then, saving your Jade for another banner. Next up, let's talk about the other character on here that's not the freebie, Sushang. Now, this girl is really good. She's a physical damage carry, and if you don't have Clara, she's probably like your only one outside of physical MC, but you're probably running him as fire MC. If we look at her Eidolons, though, it's a different story than Tingyun. Her Eidolon level 1 is absolutely busted. I think if you're going to feature her as a main carry, you really, really want this one. If you don't know, the way this character works, she gets her sword stance and does more damage if the person that she's attacking has had their weakness broken. So like if their top bar is 0, this girl pops off and does more damage, and it's through her skill use. With her Eidolon level 1, after using her skill against a weakness broken enemy, she gets the skill point back. This allows her to run so well with other characters in your group that like using skills. It's absolutely game changing for her. It turns her, it ups her tier level, in my opinion, among 4-star characters. Like if she's an A tier, she becomes like an S minus 4-star character. Maybe if she's a B plus tier character, she goes to A. She's not S tier, but she goes up a whole tier with this Eidolon, in my opinion, just because of how well she then plays, how nicely she plays with other carries. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. So I would definitely suggest getting that one. The rest of them are kind of whatever. Her number 2 one is damage reduction for her after triggering sword stance. That's whatever. 3 and 5 are just skill levels again. 4, her break effect increases by 40%. Now, break effect is not how quickly you break their weakness. There are a lot of videos by other content creators about this. Break effect will help her do more damage, especially against weakness broken enemies, and that's good, but it does not make her break their weakness 40% faster. If it did, I think it would be insane. If it did that plus the other stuff, so it's okay. It will help her damage, and that's something. And then her Eidolon level 6, her talent speed boost is stackable, can stack up to 2 times, and she gets it for 2 turns after entering combat. So we'll look at her talent real quick here. I do think this one is good. So when an enemy has their weakness broken on the field, her speed increases by 15% for 2 turns. Look, that's powerful, right? This gives her a lot of speed potential, and now that it can stack twice, if you're in an AoE fight, you break 2 enemies weakness bars. Now she's got a 30% speed buff. It's real good, but I don't think you're chasing any 4-star character to Eidolon 6 just for that. At least I don't think very many people are. So with her, I would highly suggest going for Eidolon level 1 if she's the girl you're going for on this banner. Now real quick, let's say you happen to catch some March 7th dupes. I don't think any of March 7th's duplicates really change what she does. She's still in your group to give that shield, give that hate buff to an ally. Sure, at Eidolon level 1, she regenerates a little bit more energy when she ults, giving her more ults. Her Eidolon level 2 is she will instantly give a shield to someone in your group who has the lowest HP percentage, as 24% more to the ally with the lowest HP percentage. For something like Simulated Universe, where you might be walking from fight to fight with less HP percentage, could be useful for that. I don't like that one very much. Her number 4 is she can counterattack 1 more time, and her counterattack does more damage. If you're using her with like Clara in a counterattacking build, there's potential for this to up your team's DPS a little bit, but you're still not counting on March to do damage. And then her Eidolon level 6 is she gives a little bit of a heal to whom she has shielded. I do think that one's powerful. And look, I just don't think you're going for March 7th dupes on this banner. I think it's all about Tingyun and Sushang. So there we go. We've broken it down. Now, do I think it's worth to do this? Let's say you don't have a Bronya. I definitely think picking up a copy of Tingyun is super worth it for you. Also, let's say you really like one of the characters on here and you just want to use them. Go for it. At a 22% chance to pull them every time you hit a 5-star. So like every time you hit a 4-star, your like worst chance is every 10 pulls you have a 22% shot at getting them, especially with the way pity works in this game where it's going to carry over. I do think it's worth going for them if you really want them. Will they change your account drastically? Really, only Tingyun will do that, and that's if you don't have Bronya, in my opinion, or you need her for your second group. All right, there's my breakdown of that stuff. Let me know what you think in the comments section, and have a great day, everybody. I'll catch you next time. Peace.